In 1941, as I understand it, you were finishing Columbia and you got drafted. You were drafted, right? Tell me about your experience in the military.
Well, that's how I got involved with fighting discrimination. I was so when I was at Columbia, if things had been as they were at Columbia, I would have had, and I hadn't gone to the Army, I would have certainly had the mistaken view, which a number of blacks have, that, race doesn't mean anything, and that you can get by, every black man can rise up as far as he can, as his talent, which is a misconception. But I believe that. I would have had that misconception, but for the Army. And the Army, they talk about reality. The Army brought reality to me. Discrimination was just so rampant at that time. Absolutely every time, every turn, and so forth. And so, I wasn't going to accept it.
What? Give me a sense of where you were sent for training and what kind of unit you were in. I assume you were in a segregated unit.
Yeah, with white officers. I was in a unit. Sorry. In Augusta, Georgia, I think it was, and we had no training. We were there to loose brush, clean up stuff, and so on. And I made up my mind that was not what I was going to be spending my energy doing. So there was the sergeant, master sergeant, was a all-line Army man, had about 2 or 3 wives and kind of ignorant and so forth. And I wasn't a lawyer, because I hadn't passed the bar so well at the time, but he thought I was. And I had more education than anybody else there, white or black. So he was engaging me to write his letters to his various women. So I wasn't going to be out there because I was writing his letters. I was in the clerk's office and so forth. So that's how. It was a kind of a riot, and we were not trained in any way as far as I could see. And at one point with the black community raising all the hell and so forth and so on, about opening the Army's ranks for blacks. As a result of that, I got the opportunity to go to officer candidate school. So then I went to officer candidate school. And
give me a sense. I think that most young people have no idea how segregated the armed forces used to be. Give me a sense of what it was like in terms of the segregation and the discrimination.
Well, you had white officers over you, but there were all the people in your unit were black, all the other soldiers, but the captain and the lieutenants that were white, and so that's how you work. And my first when I got in the Army and I was drafted, and I guess this must have been after Pearl Harbor or something, I think, or maybe no, it was before. It was before. And let me see, let me get myself together. I was drafted, and I went to we were in Fort Dix, and then we went to Augusta. A group of us from, I think, New Jersey, New York, and maybe Connecticut, after orientation. And we went there, and the captain of our unit greeted us. And he said, "I've been reading your files, and I see all of you, some of you have gone to school and educated, but I don't believe in educated niggers. And you're niggers, and don't get uppity with me, because as long as you act what you are as niggers, you're all right." And what I remember now is nobody in our unit was shocked, taken aback. Nobody, they just looked at it as if there was something expected. There was no talk about it afterwards. You know, that's how society was at that time. So we, nobody we didn't talk about, but I guess everybody was concerned about how they were going to survive and start making things to do. That's why I became the sergeant's lawyer.